They may be up there somewhere.
Dang, man.
Yeah, it's just she gave us a new copy of this that included the 8A.
That'll go after the committee report, or before we get to the ordinances and resolutions.
Now you get two orders. Now you get two orders.
I'm gonna hold, item number one for the next meeting.
So you putting it.
I'm gonna pull it until the next agenda item, the next meeting.
Why is that? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. Hello. Hello.
Mr. Gilliard?
Test mic, test.
It's on now. Good evening. So we are here for City Council meeting, December 15. And the first thing that we will do is hear public comments before we call the meeting to order on agenda items. And the only person that we have here to speak is Mr. Danny Walker on the agenda item. However, and actually, wait, that's being read a second time tonight, right? Okay. And so if Mr. Danny Walker is here?
Good evening, Mayor and City Council.
Good evening.
Let me start off by saying that I'm here to speak on the 1 cent sales tax. And so I have a prepared statement I'll just read right quick. I respectfully ask the City Council to vote against putting the 1 cent sales tax on the ballot. Since returning back to Pine Bluff in late 1997, I have watched this city slowly decline with no growth and major loss of population. Since this time, it has been tax after tax, a public safety tax we are currently paying, an economic development tax that was supposed to create jobs, a penny for progress tax, millage tax for a new school, a go-forward tax that people finally got tired of and voted against twice. I believe that City Hall is being misled and believes that the citizens of Pine Bluff either have a pocket full of money or are able or are cheerful givers. Because at this point, these tax bills are ringing louder than the Salvation Army at Christmas time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. And now we will call the meeting to order. And I invite President Rajan Zed, who is president of the Universal Society of Hinduism. President Zed has opened up a congressional hearing before, and in the past, I met him yet today. He is actually traveling through Arkansas to open up the city council meeting in Memphis and contacted my office to offer an opportunity to lead us in prayer. And so we are glad to have you today, President Rajan Zed. And if we can stand.
Thanks to Mayor Vivian Flowers and the City Council for welcoming me to this Hall of Democracy of the great city of Pine Bluff. Starting with Gayatri Mantra, which is considered the most sacred mantra of Hinduism, I shall be reading from ancient Hindu scriptures, some as old as 1500 BCE, and then interpreted in English. Om Bhurvubah Swah Tatsavitruvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayat. We meditate on the transcendental glory of the Deity Supreme, who is inside the heart of the earth, inside the life of the sky, and inside the soul of the heaven. May He stimulate and illuminate our minds. Astoma Sadgamya, Tamsoma Jyotirgamya, Mrityor Mamratam Gamya. Lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, lead us from death to immortality. Tasmada Sakta Statam Karyam Karma Samachara, Asakto Hyacharan Karma, Parma Panoti Purusha, Karma Nevahi Samsiddhi Mastita Jankadya, Loka Sangreha Mevapi, Sampa Shankar Tumrahasi. Strive constantly to serve the welfare of the world. By devotion to selfless, one attains the supreme goal of life. Do your work with the welfare of others always in mind. Om Saha Navavatu, Saha Nobunaktu, Saha Viryan Karba Bahai, Tejasvi Navadita Mastu, Ma Vidvisa Bahai. May we be protected together, may we be nourished together, may we work together with great vigor. May our study be enlightening. May no obstacle arise between us. Samni va akuti, samna hirdhyani va, samna mastu vo mano, yatha va susa hasti. United your resolve, united your hearts. May your spirits be at one, that you may long together dwell in unity and concord. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Om. Thank you.
Thank you so much, President Zed. And now we will have the presentation of colors from the cadets of Watson Chapel Junior ROTC.
Color guard, attention, Gary, colors. Forward, march. Color guard, halt. Left face. Present arms.
On the count of three, we recite the Pledge of Allegiance. 1, 2, 3.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, arms. Right, face. Forward, march. March on, march. Color guard, halt. Order, colors. Fall up.
Thank you so much. And before I ask for Madam Clerk to call the roll, President Zed did ask, as he has come all the way from Nevada, if we would, myself and the council, take a picture with him. And so if you can come right around here. Either way, either way.
Here we go, and 1, 2, 3. Got it.
And now, Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Mays.
Here.
Councilmember Holcomb.
Here.
Councilmember Brown.
Here.
Councilmember Lockett.
Here.
Councilmember Frazier.
Here.
Councilmember Brunton.
Here.
Councilmember Denton.
Here.
And Councilmember Fail.
Here.
Thank you so much. So right now, before we go into our committee reporting, I have, my office was contacted by Interim Chief Compton to allow for a presentation, and then also Director Walker Galuce also has retail strategies with us electronically to also make a presentation. So we will indulge those requests first and then move on to our committee reporting. So Chief Compton. I'll recognize you first.
Good evening, Council, Mayor and Council. Thank you for this opportunity. I wanted to give these guys a chance to explain this award that Pine Bluff received, the Pine Bluff Fire and Emergency received 2025, and it's a prestigious award that was won throughout the entire state. So I will let Captain Russell Carruthers explain how we won this award.
Good evening. Captain Russell Carruthers, Training Director of Pine Bluff Fire Department. This year at the Arkansas EMT Association, myself and my EMS training instructors, Lieutenant Joe Kiesel, Lieutenant Rance Dukes, Engineer Thomas Russell, and Captain Richard Kress, were presented on behalf of the entire Pine Bluff Fire and Emergency Service the 2025 Arkansas Fire and EMS Service of the Year Award. This is an incredible achievement, one that speaks volume about the character, professionalism, and dedication of every single member of our department. It's an achievement. This achievement is a reflection of our unwavering dedication to protecting and serving the citizens of Pine Bluff. Every call we answer is a chance to make a difference, and this award validates the passion and professionalism the men and women of our department bring to every emergency incident. This honor belongs to every firefighter, officer, chief, and staff member of the Pine Bluff Fire and Emergency Service who shows up with courage, compassion, and readiness to serve every single day. Our department has focused heavily on advanced training, rapid response, and community outreach initiatives, which were key factors contributing to this recognition. Some of the highlights, this department has affiliated with Arkansas Fire Academy and has become a satellite campus for emergency technician course. This has been instrumental in the department's start of a very successful in-house EMT training program. Over the past 2.5 years, our department has been successful in raising the retention rate for probationary firefighters by increasing the pass rate for EMT students from approximately 50% to 97% since the inception of the in-house training. To date, Pine Bluff Fire and Emergency Services put 33 probationary firefighters through our in-house EMT course, which of 30 of those individuals have passed and passed the National Registry EMT exam. These firefighters also obtained 9 college hours through Southern Arkansas University Tech for completion of this course. The Pine Bluff Fire and Emergency Services was the first fire department in the state to be designated as pediatric ready through the Emergency Medical Services for Children program and the Arkansas Department of Health. And in partnership with Emergency Ambulance Services Incorporated, the Arkansas Department of Health section of EMS, the Pine Bluff Police Department, Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, and the Pine Bluff School District, and Jefferson Regional Medical Center, we participated in a first of its kind mass casualty incident drill at Jack Roby Junior High this year. We faced challenges as individuals and as a department and as a city, but through it all, we've stood together, we've worked as a family, and this recognition is proof that when Pine Bluff unites, there's nothing we cannot accomplish. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mayor, please.
And Chief, did you have something to say before we invite you to come up and also take a picture?
I just want to thank the men and women of the Pine Bluff Fire and Emergency Service for the great work that they're doing, and this is some of the dedication right here.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for your service.
I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to the Pine Bluff Fire Department on behalf of the James E. Jackson family. We were so impressed with your service and presentation of your fallen fellow man. Thank you for the wonderful service. Are you able to share? Hello? Do you hear me? Are you able to?
Hi there.
Okay, great.
I believe so.
Okay, great.
You all, we will hear from officials with Retail Strategies. As you all are aware, last year we entered into a contract with Retail Strategies to assist the city in recruiting retail businesses to Pine Bluff. And so as a matter of transparency and to also get an understanding as to what our progress is as it relates to the contract. They have made themselves available to report to us on the heels of their visit to Pine Bluff. So we are excited to hear the good news, and thank you all for being available to make this presentation.
Hi, Mayor and Council. Thank you so much. Share my screen, and hopefully you can see this slide deck. My name is Jonathan Ross. I'm Portfolio Director for the Gulf South Territory at Retail Strategies. I'm joined by my colleague, Adam Shackelford. Again, we appreciate your time this evening. We know it is extremely valuable, and I'm sure you have a very long agenda. So I'm going to quickly run through this slide deck. This has been sent to Ms. Walker and is available for you to look through at your leisure. And we are always available to answer any questions you might have down the road. But again, thank you for the opportunity to update you on our efforts. We're extremely excited about the progress that we've already made in a relatively short period of time. We're not even quite halfway through this 3-year contract, and we've already seen some great success and feel really strongly about the momentum we have moving forward. So without any further ado, just a little brief high level about what we do. As you mentioned, we are hired contractually in a partnership with the city to drive retail recruitment, economic development, specifically through that retail recruitment effort, highlighting real estate assets and leveraging our contacts within the commercial real estate world, specifically in the retail world, to drive economic development. Our process uses very unique data insights, visits to the market. Adam and I were in the market middle of August of this year, had a great visit, got to meet with Mayor, got to meet with her team, and also were able to lay eyes on the market, which is extremely valuable for our efforts to understand the day-to-day in Pine Bluff, and then also this unique assets as it relates to driving retail development to the community. We are an advocate for Pine Bluff. We are working with our points of contact to stay at the top of their inbox when Pine Bluff is competing with other markets, not only just in the state of Arkansas, but the country at large. And that is our value add in one of many ways to the city. We travel to shows all over the country, have one coming up in February in San Antonio, which will be a great opportunity to highlight Pine Bluff. And again, we are a broker almost to the city as our fiduciary to, again, tell the story and advocate as to why these national retail groups need to be in the market. Meat and potatoes, reason why we're here. We've already had a quick success story with the Roses opening. Some highlights as it relates to quantitative data. Average store with Roses does between $4 and $5 million in average unit revenue. You can then deduce that from sales tax and what that brings in for sales tax revenue into the community, which again is in large part our value add to drive sales tax revenue to the city, but also create good paying jobs and opportunities for individuals in the community looking for good jobs in the retail world.
I'm sorry, before you go on to the next slide, there were some numbers in terms of the, it looked like there were some numbers in that last slide, and we can't see it. Would you mind sharing it with us what those numbers were?
Sure. Apologize if you can't see that. So through our research and just our interactions with this group, Roses specifically, we can confidently estimate that an average store it does about $4 to $5 million a year in sales. We then multiply that by the city tax revenue, and that is generating anywhere between $65,000 to $81,000 a year in sales tax revenue. So that more than covers our contractual agreement year over year. These are sales tax revenues that will sustain as long as the business is around. And again, this was an early win within our agreement that has laid a very strong foundation into the future. If there's any other questions specifically about numbers, please let me know. But again, we can confidently estimate that this particular business that we recruited into the market does anywhere between $65,000 to $81,000 plus in sales tax revenue yearly. And with
Thank
that,
you.
I'm going to hand it over briefly to Adam to highlight how we recruit retail and some of the groups that we have going forward.
Yeah, so thank you all so much for having us tonight. And so my name is Adam Shackelford, as Jonathan mentioned earlier, the retail recruitment manager for the city of Pine Bluff. And just through the day-to-day lens of knowing where the retailers are moving, and I can show you some examples of that on the next slide here, but these are the groups that we're really going after and targeting. And it's not only restaurant groups, it's also hotels and home improvement stores, wholesale stores, anywhere from the national standpoint is our niche, but we're also really starting to get into more local and regional retail as well. So the bigger picture, again, we just talked about the return on investment. Really the first win is kind of the threshold to meet where you can really kind of justify the contract. And then every win moving forward is just icing on the cake. And we're going to use that first win as leverage to really show the picture of, hey, things are actually opening up here in Pine Bluff, and we're going to be showing some examples of that in the future as well. So it's not only about the return on investment, it's really the big picture is improving the quality of life in the community through innovation and entrepreneurial pursuits, getting really creative, finding sites off market that might not be for sale that a retailer would like to open a business on, getting creative and really moving the needle in a creative fashion. Now, these are just some examples. Obviously, we're in a public situation, so we can't talk details. We do have some confidential updates for each one of these that we're happy to share out. But these are just some examples, again, of the types of retailers that we feel that might be the closest to the next win or success in the market. As you can see, there's a lot of restaurant groups and coffee groups on here. And the main reason for that is just really the state of the economy from the macro level. The coffee groups, they only need a half acre to 3/4 of an acre, which is a lot cheaper to get into, and they can build, either a 600 square foot store up to 1,000 square feet. So inevitably, it's a lot easier for them to break into a market versus, you would say, a grocery store or places like that. And then talking about knowing where retailers are moving, Jack's is a great example. Their tenant rep is in Birmingham, Alabama, where we are located. And through our relationship, we discovered that Jack's is entering the state of Arkansas. And so obviously they're going to be starting in the Memphis kind of area on that side of the state and then the Northeast. So we can essentially put Pine Bluff on their market for when that franchisee hits their first 3 stores and they're looking to grow out from that Memphis area. Pine Bluff is going to be the next one on their radar. So really just staying plugged in. We're really excited for 2026. Again, we have 4 trade shows. One in San Antonio coming up in February that we're excited to go to. That's a big Arkansas show because the one in Atlanta is a little bit too far away from Arkansas. So the one in San Antonio is going to be a perfect opportunity for us to put Pine Bluff in front of brokers and developers. And then the next one after that is going to be the big national one out there in Las Vegas. So we're excited. We're really getting into the time of year where we're prepping for these trade shows. Really gearing up for February and May, we call conference season. So really just appreciate the time to be able to jump on the call tonight and kind of talk through what we've done, kind of where we're at, where we're going forward. Again, want to be respectful of your time. So if there's any questions, happy to answer. And then also, as Jonathan mentioned, we are always available via phone call, email, or carrier pigeon or text, however you like to communicate.
I have one, Mayor.
Thank you so much. We do have a question from Councilmember Mays.
Explain the trade shows you're talking about, and how often will the city council have an update on what you all are doing? And will it be a clear to us, or will it be a lot of red tape?
So it's kind of hard to answer the question as far as how often we do quarterly reports, quarterly updates. There will be a confidential version as well as a public friendly version. And the reason for that is a lot of these deals are confidential. And the reason that we exist is really bridging the gap between the public and private partnerships. And the brokers and tenant reps are working on all commission. And if word gets out that, let's say Chick-fil-A is working on a deal on the market, and then the price goes up because the property owner found out, it could kill the deal. And really the reason we exist again is to bridge that gap. And our value add is the relationships, to be able to go to these trade shows in person. And if we have to keep that relationship with the industry, commercial real estate individual, at the top of our priority. That way we can leverage it for future deals in the market of Pine Bluff, so on and so forth. So I'm sorry I couldn't hear the question exactly, but does that
That's close enough. That's close enough.
Thank you so much. Any other council members have any questions? Councilmember Fells?
Is it Mr. Shackelford? What's the?
Yes. Mr. Shackelford?
Okay, Mr. Shackelford, thank you for joining us here this evening. In all of your conversations with these different business owners and companies, would you just elaborate on what some of the obstacles may be for some of these people when it comes to investing in Pine Bluff? Are there like common barriers or things that they're saying that discourages them from coming here?
Yeah, so great question. Again, kind of hard to hear, but kind of the hurdles, to be completely honest, it's more of a macro issue. It's nothing, we haven't had any really negative feedback as far as entering Pine Bluff. It's really the timing. Timing is a huge situation. Again, an example of Jack's is they want to be in the market, but they're not even in the state yet. So they have to establish their footprint, and the way that they operate is maximizing their marketing budget. So they want to capture one DMA at a time. And then franchisee driven is really the big piece here. When we have these restaurant groups, their franchisees really dictate on where they're going to grow and how often they're going to grow. So if the franchisee already have their 3 to 5 stores in their multi-unit agreement, then they're not available to open another store until they get corporate approval. So really, honestly, we haven't had much negative feedback at all as far as entering the market. The main hurdles are timing. Harbor Freight's another realtor, retailer on here. They put all growth on hold for 2026 due to the tariffs issues that we see at the federal level. So there's just a lot of different variables that impact it. I would say across the board right now, vacancy rates are extremely low at 4.3%. And then you combine that with the price of real estate is being extremely high. And then also the price of construction and the price of labor is extremely high. But the positive thing that I would say for Pine Bluff is when you're competing against a Little Rock where it might be more expensive to break into, more expensive to build that 3,000 square foot drive-through or whatever you have it, or to buy a shopping center and put the money into it to redevelop it and do an adaptive reuse. It sometimes is a lot easier for the retailers to go into a secondary type market versus a Little Rock or Memphis or New Orleans or places like that. So it's really a lot of, macro issues, and we're seeing this across the board in the Southeast. We work the entire Southeast. Luckily, interest rates just came down again, so that's a positive force moving into 2026 and beyond. We're starting to see a little bit more activity from the developers because they've really been sitting on the sideline waiting for the interest rates to come down because they know that they can spend less money to get the same store built up, and their return would be a lot higher.
Thank you so much. And if there are any more, Councilmember Brown?
Just one question on the active recruitment prospects page. You have a national coffee chain, and then you actually have a national coffee user. What is the difference between those two? Are they the same?
Perfect.
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, I'm sorry, we didn't hear that.
Okay, so you have on the active recruitment prospects page, one category is national coffee user. The other one is national coffee chain. And so it looks like the national coffee user seems like it has a better possibility of being able to come to Pine Bluff. And I was just wondering, what is the difference between that and the coffee chain?
Really, there's not a big difference. That's mostly just a wording difference that they like to identify as. It's basically the same one. They're both national. They're both franchisee driven. Well, actually, one is franchisee driven and one is corporate stores only. So the corporate stores is probably the national user that you're seeing on that page. And the franchisee-driven store would be the chain, and it's really just a wording how they word their name or what category they want to be inside of. So really not a big difference there. The main difference again is one is corporate-driven and the Hole in the Wall Street and Growth Numbers, and the other is franchisee-driven.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other council members with questions? Okay. All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your presentation, and we will look forward to the next quarterly report and more good news to come.
Thank you so much, Council, Mayor. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. And we will hear our committee reports. We're going to do that first. And before we do that, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Move to approve the minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the minutes from December 1st council meeting be approved. Any discussion? With no discussion, all those who will vote yes or agree to approve the minutes indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. And now we will quickly and succinctly go through our committee reporting before we move on to proposed ordinances and resolutions. Ways and Means, Councilmember Brown, will you please deliver your report?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Ways and Means met just before this council meeting. Tonight we discussed 2 budget adjustments, one coming from Parks and Recreation, those funds coming from within their department, and the other was from the Cemetery Department, also funds within their own department. Both of those budget adjustments were sent to the full council with a due pass, and that concludes my report.
Thank you so much. Next, we will hear on ordinances and resolutions. Councilmember Holcomb.
Thank you, Mayor. We have 9 ordinances. Number 1 has been pulled by the sponsor. Number 2 is up for the 3rd and final reading. Number 3 is up for the 3rd and final reading. Number 4 is up for the 2nd reading. Number 5 is up for the 2nd reading. Number 6 is up for the 1st reading. Number 7 will be completed on tonight. Number 8 is up for the 1st reading. Number 8A is up for the 1st reading. So that will give us 8 ordinances. Number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 are all resolutions. They will be completed on tonight. All of you should have in front of you agenda item number 15, a resolution amending the 2025 municipal budget to transfer funds within the Parks and Recreation Department. I move that this resolution be added to the budget.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that, which resolution?
15.
Thank you, that item number 15 be added to the budget. Any discussion? No discussion. Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Councilmember Mays.
Aye.
Councilmember Holcomb.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
Councilmember Lockett.
Aye.
Councilmember Frazier.
Aye.
Councilmember Brunson.
Aye.
Councilmember Denton.
Aye.
And Councilmember Fail.
Aye.
All of you should have in front. Oh, I'm sorry.
Motion passes.
All of you have in front of you agenda item number 16, a resolution amending the 2025 municipal budget to transfer funds within the Cemetery Department. I move that this resolution be added to the agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item 16 be added to the agenda. Indicate any discussion? With no discussion, Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Councilmember Mays.
Aye.
Councilmember Holcomb.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
Councilmember Lockett.
Aye.
Councilmember Frazier.
Aye.
Councilmember Brunson.
Aye.
Councilmember Denton.
Aye.
And Councilmember Fails.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All of you should have in front of you agenda item number 17, a resolution in support of reviving the state-run federal surplus property program administered by the state of Arkansas. I move that this resolution be added to the agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 17 be added to the agenda. Any discussion? With no discussion, Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Councilmember Mays.
Aye.
Councilmember Holcomb.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
Councilmember Lockett.
Aye.
Councilmember Frazier.
Aye.
Councilmember Brunson.
Aye.
Councilmember Denton.
Aye.
Councilmember Fails.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All of you should have in front of you agenda item number 18, a resolution commending the Gloves Not Guns organization for contribution to the youth of the community for its boxers' performance in the recent Arkansas State Silver Gloves Tournament, extending best wishes for favorable results in the upcoming Region 6 Silver Gloves Tournament and National Silver Gloves of America Tournament. I move that this resolution be added to the agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 18 be added to the agenda. Any discussion? With no discussion, Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Councilmember Mays.
Aye.
Councilmember Holcomb.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
Councilmember Lockett.
Aye.
Councilmember Frazier.
Aye.
Councilmember Brunson.
Aye.
Councilmember Denton.
Aye.
And Councilmember Fails.
Aye.
And Mayor, agenda item number 18 will be read first.
Yes, thank you. And motion passes.
Before he ends that report, on agenda item number 8, we didn't discuss it in ordinance and resolutions, but I believe we need to go ahead and finish that one up tonight. It has a January 2026 deadline, and so we need to go ahead and get that finished up tonight.
Agenda item number 8. That is correct. Thank you, Councilman Brown.
Yes, sir.
We're going to finish agenda item number, complete agenda item number 8 as well. Because it does have that emergency clause in it.
Okay.
But we're not doing anything now. You're saying when we get to item 8, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
just
ma'am.
making sure.
Okay. Does that conclude your
Yeah,
report?
that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilmember Holcomb. Next, we have Councilmember Frazier. Will you please deliver your report on the Economic and Community Development Committee?
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Economic and Community Development met on December 11th at 11 a.m. in the Economic and Community Development Office, and we just had a short agenda. Speaking in regards to carryover from our Community Development Block Grant and also our HUD Home Program. For those that might not know what Community Development Block Grant is, it's primarily funds that supports activities like property acquisition, rehabilitation, infrastructure, job creation, and public service, just to name a few. And then our HUD Home program is also used to help low-income families with rental assistance, home buyer down payments, new construction, and home rehabilitation. And then we spoke about the Crestwood Apartments that's on Union that's being renovated, that is going to have a new roof on it. They're working on it right now, and it's 2 units that's currently being renovated, and that funding came from different grants and carryover funds. So we're excited about the work that's going on in Ward 3. And then also the announcement about the rehab program. Applications for that program is until December 22nd. So that's next Monday. So if you want to put in the application, do so quickly. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Denton, will you please deliver your report on public health and welfare?
Okay, good evening, Mayor. I spoke with Mr. Blunt The only report I have is from the cemetery. They're still waiting on the columbarium to be installed, and they're preparing for the end of the year report with the Arkansas Cemetery Board, and they had 10 burials in the month of December so far. And that is my report.
Thank you. Councilmember Fells, will you please deliver your report on Development and Planning Committee?
I think it's Public Works.
I'm sorry. Councilmember Lockett, will you please deliver your report on Public Works?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Public Works Committee has not met since our last meeting. I just have a brief announcement that on Wednesday, December the 17th, the Public Works will conduct its budget hearing from 9 a.m. until about 11:40. So anybody interested in knowing the budgetary issues related to Public Works, that's when we'll entertain those. Thank you, Madam Mayor. That concludes my report.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Fells, will you please deliver your report on Development and Planning?
Yes, so Development and Planning, we met on December the 10th, earlier this week. We did forward agenda items number 13 and 14 to the full council. Our next meeting will be tomorrow. It will actually be a budget hearing between 1 o'clock p.m. and 5 o'clock p.m. With several departments. The public is open to attend, and that concludes my report.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Brunson, will you please deliver your report on Traffic and Aviation?
Thank you, Mayor. Traffic and Aviation, we actually met today for our budget meeting. We did approve the budget for Greaterfield Airport, and the only adjustment that was needed was the increase that has been taking place for the insurance, and we did amend that as well. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilmember Holcomb, will you please deliver your report on administration?
Thank you, Mayor. The Administration Committee met Thursday, December the 4th, with a due pass on agenda items number 6, 7, 8, 8A, 9, 10, 11, and 12. That concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember. And Councilmember Brown, will you please deliver your report on Public Safety?
Yes, Mayor. Public Safety has not met since our last council meeting, but we will have our budget meeting on Wednesday. It's going to start around 1 o'clock, and it will be, all committee meetings are in this building, correct? No?
In the
old council chambers, okay. All right, so that meeting will be held in the old council chambers, starts at 1 o'clock. For all of those that report to that committee, I'd ask that you all come closer to the 1 o'clock time, because we're gonna try to go through those different areas as quickly as possible. And so if you're on for 2 o'clock, try to be there still closer to the 1 o'clock time, because if you're there, then we'll go ahead and hear your department at that time. So that will be Wednesday, December 17th, 1 o'clock p.m. in Old Council Chambers. And that concludes my report.
Thank you so much. And then we will move on to proposed ordinances and resolutions, and I believe we will begin with item number 18.
Agenda number item 18, a resolution commending the Gloves Not Guns organizations for contribution to the youth of the community for its boxers' performance in the recent Arkansas State Silver Gloves Tournament, extending best wishes for favorable results in the upcoming Region 6 Silver Gloves Tournament and the National Silver Gloves of America Tournament.
Whereas the Gloves Not Guns organization provides local youth a wholesome alternative activity through its boxing program, a program which teaches fitness, commitment, respect, and many other virtues. And whereas 10 of the organization's boxers recently participated in the Arkansas State Silver Gloves Tournament held December 5th and 6th in Little Rock, with 6 advancing to the Region 6 tournament to be held in Sherwood, Arkansas on January 16th through 19th, 2026, and featuring competitors from Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, Alabama, Louisiana, Tennessee, and Mississippi. And whereas the winners from the regional matches will advance to the 59th National Silver Gloves of America to be held in Independence, Missouri this coming February. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Section 1, that we, the mayor, and the members of the City Council hereby commend Guns Not Gloves for its positive impact on youth in the community through its boxing program. Section 2, that we further commend the 10 boxers of the organization who participated in the Arkansas State Silver Gloves Tournament and congratulate the 6 winners: Arskay Williams, Jr., 8 years old, straight A student at James Matthews; Jonathan Woodall, Jr., 9 years old, is homeschooled; Rodney White III, 10 years old, attends Friendship Academy; Elijah Cana, 13 years old, attends Robert F. Moorhead School; Montrell Compton, 15 years old, attends Pine Bluff High School; and Darion Spencer, 16 years old, attends Pine Bluff High School, the third-ranked boxer in his group in the nation. We congratulate and commend their fine and dedicated coaches, Tim Maxwell and Fabian Grayton, and all those who sustained the program. Section 3, we further extend our best wishes for positive outcomes in the upcoming matches in the Region 6 competition and hopefully the national tournament.
Move for adoption.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 18 be adopted. Any discussion? Councilmember Lynette Frazier.
I just want to say I had the blessed opportunity to meet Albert Brewer when I first started working in the mayor's office, and I know the hard work and dedication that he has and the heart that he has for the young people. So I am just wanted to publicly acknowledge you for dedication, perseverance, not giving up on our youth, and continuing to show them the love that you do. So thank you.
Mayor.
Councilmember Mays.
Mr. Brewer, can you come down? Can they come down?
They will come down
Okay.
momentarily.
Okay, I'd like to say, Mr. Brewer, I don't remember how long you've been doing this. I know I was there when you first started. And, man, you have done a great job. I just want to make sure that the young people that you train come back to visit you, just to say hi. You've done a lot. Okay, that'll work. And
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She apologized for that, but let me tell you something. You keep doing what you're doing. Don't y'all give up. Thank y'all.
It does say gloves, not guns on the paper. Yeah, on the resolution. Any other comments? And I too would like to thank Coach Brewer for your really your commitment to young people. I have seen Coach Brewer in the gym. I have seen Coach Brewer in city council meetings. I have seen Coach Brewer on the corner when you enter into Walmart, raising money and standing with the children that he is helping to develop. And I also want to point out that, you know, boxing is a spectator sport that is presented all over the nation in tournaments, but also in the Olympics. And the work that you have done to instill strength and discipline and physical fitness and even teamwork in these young people is something that I have witnessed myself. And I also want to thank you for everything that you've done in service to our young people here in Pine Bluff and to sticking with it no matter what. And because you have been so diligent, we have seen that you have developed a pretty impressive gym on Old Main. And so it is always my pleasure to come support you when you have hosted tournaments right here in Pine Bluff. So what you're doing for young people equates also to the great work that you're doing for this city. So thank you so much, Coach.
Mayor.
Councilmember Fells.
And I think I could speak for, all of us when we say we also extend that same appreciation to also all the wonderful volunteers that you have who have been supporting your organization, the parents as well. I know there are a couple of those dedicated team members who, you can really rely on and count on. So, we're always appreciative of them as well.
And Mayor, I would like to be a co-sponsor on that legislation. Does everyone wish to be a co-sponsor? I mean, that was coming. Great. Okay, so we'll add everyone as an amendment. And now we ask for the young people who have come today with your families to please join us here on stage for a picture and let us celebrate you, if you will.
We got six, where's the six, raise your hand, the six, these six is advancing to the, they're advancing on to the regional, circle, like you said earlier, to, Sherwood, Arkansas. There are 6 other states that will coming in. They will bring their state champions. And the one from there would advance on to the national, silver gloves. In February. So January 16th through the 19th. Raise your hand, those 6. That's it. And I'm very proud of, but we got, hopefully at the end of this year, we have some more ranking, but Darian Spencer back there, he ranks number 3 in the nation right now. Thanks for the parents and all. I thank y'all for the support and everything. This has been a dream come true here. 1991, when I came home in Pine Bluff, there was no boxing club. And when I grew up here, boxing was a big thing, but, and I have to give the credit to the kids. Yeah, y'all give me the credit, but without the kids, it wouldn't be no program. And these kids, and they train just like any other boxer in the world. They run, they train, they work hard, dedication and all. There's some victories, there's some losses and all. They endured all that boxers endure. And so, and I'm grateful, for y'all giving me this opportunity. Yeah. And we started with 0. Look at us now. God is good.
Can I get y'all to say cheese?
And they're a good group, because when we first used to come to city council, they was all over the place.
Hold on. Take one more. Let's say 1, 2, 3. Champions.
All right.
Champions. 1, 2, 3. Champions.
Who are we?
GG.
All right.
But I hear what you're saying. Yes. Thank you, though. Yeah, do you have his number? Oh, yeah. Share with me. I have to call. Check on him. That was awesome. And Councilmember Holcomb, you can go ahead and move forward.
Okay. Agenda item number 2, an ordinance amending section 21-26 of the Code of the Ordinance of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, respecting the classification of personnel within the police department, amending the 2025 municipal budget to transfer funds to defray the cost of these changes and related purposes, up for the third and final reading.
An ordinance amending section 2126 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, respecting the classification of personnel within the police department, amending the 2025 municipal budget to transfer funds to defray the cost of these changes and related purposes.
Move for adoption.
Second. Been moved and seconded that item number 2 be adopted. Any discussion? I'm not sure where Councilmember Denton is, but I'm going to go ahead and just make this presentation because I know we've talked about it a lot, and I have presented in email to each one of the members all of the relevant issues to this matter. And I think the only thing that we haven't mentioned publicly or that you didn't receive is that as this measure would even out the leadership, where now we have 2 layers of executive chief leadership, currently 3 positions, we would keep 3 positions and basically be trading 4 positions for 2. And ultimately, this would come at a savings of $94,000. And I think with how tight our budget has been, it just makes sense. So I don't know if anybody has any questions, but I've talked with just about everybody one-on-one, if not in previous discussion in committee, so I won't belabor the point. I just would ask you to be mindful that the chief candidates are in support of this measure. If it doesn't pass tonight, it will come up again, no matter who is chief. And again, this would come at a savings of $94,000 to the city, as well as address issues that I have heard from as it relates to patrol and leadership. So with that, with no further discussion.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, Councilmember Fels.
I did just want to be able, we've had a candid conversation about this, and I have to, of course, decided to go ahead and support this legislation. Initially, I was very reluctant to do so while we had an interim chief in place. I think that structural changes of this nature should be done with a permanent chief. However, after getting assurances from you that the top contenders for police chief, they have both supported, recommended this legislation. I believe, that just tells me that this is something, like you're saying, that will be inevitable. I also do believe that it does make sense for us to consolidate our executive leadership tier, and I am reassured by the notion that we are saving money with this, because we will be eliminating a position. So, 2 positions. So I will, reluctantly support this at this time.
I just have to say something.
Councilmember Frazier.
Okay, I was not going to say anything. I was just going to vote everybody keeps saying it's going to save us $97,000, but $94,000, but at what cost to the citizens when it comes to safety? We're talking about, we already did a restructure of the police department so that it wouldn't be so top heavy, and we could have some foot traffic, patrol traffic, have more of the bottom layer to service the community. And here we're eliminating a sergeant position, a lieutenant position, and whatever else to create these 3 executive positions. So I'm not for it. I know I'm probably gonna be the only one, maybe, but I am not for this legislation. And so I know we wanna save money. I'm all for saving money, but not at the expense of the citizens.
To that, I just would correct that this does not create 3 positions. It creates 2 positions, and we would give up 4 positions. 2 would be the other executive leadership positions, and I just would also add that for the entire time that Madam Council Member has been on the City Council, and prior to, we've had a number of positions that have been in the budget to be funded and have never been even filled. And, you know, the concern about public safety during that time when we have gone down to, you know, 2, 3, and 4 people patrolling this city, this entire city, no concern, except when there was an effort successfully made, and I believe Madam Council Member and others voted to add several positions in leadership because the mayor at the time, as well as the police chief at the time, said it was the best course and the best thing for public safety in this city. So I'm not clear why anything would be different with this mayor and this interim chief at this time at a savings. There would be no difference since we have actually increased the actual presence and hiring of officers by the end of the year by 25%. So giving up 2 positions that in the whole time Madam Council Member has been on the council, that many of which have never been filled, is in fact no threat to the public safety of this city.
And let me say this. Yes, we did change the structure of the police department when the previous mayor was in there, and we were on the rise of trying to gain more police officers. So it wasn't like we was just sitting there twiddling our thumbs and not actively doing what we can to recruit police officers. So we were heading in that direction. So just because it happened now doesn't mean that it wasn't being looked at or seriously taken into consideration during that time either.
Any further questions?
I did just
Or
want to make
discussion?
one additional comment. Just for the constituents who are listening, I believe, you know, like the comment was made about public safety. This isn't something that I would support if I believe it would have a detrimental relationship to public safety. I believe if we look at other command structures in Arkansas, for example, Little Rock, I believe they have a police chief, and then right below police chief, you know, there are 3 different bureau heads. And then I believe within this package, we do see that there is the police chief, and then you have the division commander. So I don't believe it's something that's out of the ordinary to have a police chief and right under them to have 3 assistant chief or equivalent to 3 assistant chiefs. So basically, like I just said, I believe if the top 2 candidates for police chief believe this is what they need to make their department efficient in the interest of public safety, is something that I believe is worth respecting.
Councilmember Mays.
Yes, thank you. I'm about to vote no on this as well. I feel that we have too many chiefs, if I can say it, and not enough Indians. I think we need to kind of take some of these, kind of slim it down, our police force, and just, I'm voting no.
Councilmember Frazier.
And I just want to add this last thing, and I'm done with this. However it goes, I'll sleep well. First of all, it's one thing to be in an interview and say that you can go along with something that you haven't even been, unless, I don't know who the people that's on the list for the chief, because I haven't had privy to that. But if you have not been in that department to even begin to really work with the people to see what is actually needed before you actually come in, on paper it could look good. Second, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm having police officers come speaking to me that they don't want this. So I'm just here to speak out for them and for the citizens, and that's why my answer is going to be no.
And may I speak again?
Sure.
And I would add to that many of them call me. You know, I kind of take away what I hear, what I see, and I'm hearing a lot of that too. It's like, we don't need that Alderman Mays. You see us personally. I think we need to restructure a lot of things too, and I want to see more police in my ward. You know, I'm in the 4th Ward, UAPB, Dollaway, Pinecrest, Northwest Pine Bluff. I be looking, you know, they come through fast. I want them to stop, look, and listen to our citizens in my ward. I'm watching it very closely. All right, I'm done.
So to the point that was made about there being too many chiefs, right now we have a chief, an assistant chief, and 2 deputy chiefs. Under this structural change, we would still have the same number of chiefs. We would have a chief, and then we would have 3 assistant chiefs. I can't speak to anyone who comes in a council meeting and says, I've gotten phone calls. I think we have to take each other at our word that we get with phone calls. But the bottom line is we have had a diligent committee in what's been a long process to ensure that we hear from all of the candidates, but also that we hear from patrol, that we hear from leadership. And I not only got calls, but people came to a meeting and met together and shared information about what ails this department. And I think that, you know, it's disrespectful to speak in any way that suggests that the people who are out on the street when we're at work, out on the street when we're asleep, out on the street when we're having dinner, protecting our streets in all 4 of our wards aren't doing just that. And just because we don't see them when we're living our lives doesn't mean that they're not doing exactly that. And when they come to me as the person who is supposed to lead this city and handle the day-to-day, and come to me when asked, come to me unsolicited, call me in private, send letters, we have to listen and we have to respond. And I think that if we also look at the transition report from people who did their due diligence and collected data, one of the recommendations was to deal with the top-heavy nature of our department. There are few, probably no, other cities in the state of Arkansas with assistant and deputy chiefs, certainly of our size, but even other cities that have far greater numbers of officers and residents, have one or the other. And the bottom line is what we have now is a structure that necessitates, like without anybody doing anything wrong necessarily, that necessitates that decisions be made without the input of the current chief, while our chief has to answer to everything that is done top to bottom. And I think that we do any chief a disservice and set him or her up for failure by not streamlining the executive tiers of our department, as has been recommended and as we have heard from leadership and our patrol. So as other mayors have come before you and shared what needs to be done along with police chiefs, that is what we're asking. And with no further discussion, Councilmember Fails.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I just want to give one more clarification.
Yes, please.
I haven't received any text messages from any officers for or against this, and this vote isn't a reflection of anybody's job performance or anything like that. It's just looking at it objectively compared to other departments and then hearing that this is the recommendation of top candidates, current leadership in place. I just don't see any reason not to support it for me at this time.
Thank you so much.
Well, may I say something else? And you hear, when something happened in Pine Bluff, all we got is 3 police officers on duty in the city. You know?
That's no longer the case.
Well, that's what I'm hearing.
But I'm just telling you, that's no longer the case.
Well,
it was,
when something
but it's no
happened,
longer the case.
Yes, when something happened, you got 2 police officers.
But that's no longer the case. Used to be, but that's no longer the case.
When it used to be?
Before I became mayor. So with no further discussion, all of those who vote for item number 2 indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those who vote against?
No.
No.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the vote?
Councilmember Mays?
No.
Councilmember Holcomb?
No.
Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
Councilmember Lockett?
No.
Councilmember Frazier?
No.
Councilmember Brunson?
Aye.
Councilmember Denton?
Abstain.
Councilmember Fails?
Aye.
5-3.
Motion fails. Thank you.
Agenda item number 3, an ordinance amending Chapter 19, Article 5, Section 19-137 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, respecting the appeal procedures for review of disciplinary actions imposed on uniformed employees and for related purposes, up for the third and final reading.
An ordinance amending Chapter 19, Article 5, Section 19-137 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, respecting the appeal procedure for reviews of disciplinary actions imposed on uniformed employees and for related purposes.
Move for adoption.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 3 be adopted. Any discussion? With no discussion, all of those who vote for item number 3 indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item number 4, an ordinance providing for the levy of a new 1% sales tax and use tax within the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas for a period of 10 years and prescribing other matters pertaining thereto, up for the second reading.
An ordinance providing for the levy of a new 1% sales and use tax within the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas for a period of 10 years and prescribing other matters pertaining thereto.
Place it on the calendar. Agenda item number 5, an ordinance calling for a special election in the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas on the question of levying a new 1% sales tax and use tax within the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas and prescribing other matters pertaining thereto.
An ordinance calling for a special election in the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas on the question of levying a new 1% sales and use tax within the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas and prescribing other matters pertaining thereto.
Place it on the calendar. That was the second reading. Agenda item Number 6, an ordinance amending section 1-2 of the non-uniform employee handbook regarding use of artificial intelligence, AI, in the workplace, up for the first reading.
Whereas Act 848 of 2025, enacted by the Arkansas General Assembly and codified at Arkansas Code Annotated 25-128, requires all public entities, including municipalities, to adopt a policy concerning the authorized uses of artificial intelligence and automated decision tools. And whereas the Human Resources Department has recommended certain changes to Section 1.2 of the Non-Uniform Employee Handbook pertaining to the use of artificial intelligence in the workplace. And whereas the Act mandates that final decisions involving AI must be made by a human employee. And whereas Section D of Act 848 specifically prohibits the use of AI and automated decision tools by public employees. And whereas the recommended changes to the non-uniform handbook are in the best interest of the City of Pine Bluff. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Section 1, that Section 1.2 of the non-uniform employees handbook of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas is amended to add new paragraph 10, artificial intelligence in the workplace, in the following language. Artificial intelligence in the workplace. A, purpose. This policy establishes guidelines for the authorized and prohibited use of artificial intelligence and automated decision tools by employees and contractors for the city in compliance with Act 848 of 2025. B, authorized use. Artificial intelligence and automated decision tools may be used to enhance efficiency, accuracy, service delivery in city operations. All consequential decisions involving AI tools must be reviewed and finalized by a human employee or authorized designee. AI tools must not be used to make autonomous decisions without human oversight. C, prohibited use. AI and automated decision tools shall not be used by the city employees to, number 1, express personal political opinions, to elect officials unless within the scope of the employee's job duties upon request by the elected official or public entity. 2, engage in lobbying an elected official on a personal opinion if the employee is not registered lobbyist for the city. 3, engage in illegal activities or activities otherwise prohibited by federal or state laws. Section number 4, intentionally override or avoid the security and system integrity of the city. D, protecting personal information. Employees must never input personally identifiable information into AI tools. This includes, but is not limited to, full names of individuals, social security numbers, driver's license numbers, ID numbers, home addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, medical or financial records, employee or student ID numbers, photos of individuals without consent. E, violations of this policy may result in disciplinary action up to and including termination. Section 2, all employees shall complete training on the AI policy as provided by Arkansas Municipal League or other approved sources prior to using AI on city business or city equipment. Section 3, that if any part of this ordinance is held invalid, such invalidity should not affect any other portion of this ordinance. Section 4, all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict with Section 1.2 of the Non-Uniform Employee Handbook is hereby repealed. Section 5, this ordinance not being of a general or permanent nature, it need not be published.
Place it on the calendar. Agenda item number 7, an ordinance amending Article 2 in Chapter 19 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, regarding the non-uniform employees pension plan for related purposes and declaring an emergency, up for the first reading.
Whereas to promote clarity and dispel confusion, it is necessary to make amendments to the non-uniform employees pension plan. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Section 1, that Section 1930 in Article 2, Chapter 19 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas is amended as follows. A, subsection A, normal retirement. Add this sentence to new paragraph E to paragraph 1, eligibility. Notwithstanding the above, if a member completes the service requirements for normal retirement but has not met the age retirement upon termination or separation, the member is eligible for normal retirement as of the date he or she would have been eligible if he or she had continued employment to that date. B, in subsection B, early retirement, insert language at the end of the first sentence in paragraph 3. Beginning date. A regular employee's early retirement allowance will begin to be paid to him on the date at which he becomes eligible to receive a normal retirement allowance to be determined by the retirement age established on the date of hire. C. In subsection D, deferred retirement, modify language in the second sentence of paragraph 1, eligibility. He will become eligible to receive the deferred retirement allowance when he becomes eligible for normal retirement to be determined by the retirement age established on the date of hire. D. In subsection D, deferred retirement, modify language in the first sentence in the paragraph 3, beginning date. A member's deferred retirement allowance will begin to be paid to him on the date at which he becomes eligible for normal retirement to be determined by the retirement age established on the date of hire. Section 2, all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are repealed to the extent of conflict. Section 3, the provisions of this ordinance are declared severable, and should any section, subsection, paragraph, subparagraph, sentence, or clause hereof be declared unlawful, the remainder shall continue to be given full force and effect absent the unlawful material. Section 4, this ordinance being of a general or permanent nature, it shall be published in accordance with Arkansas law. Section 5, emergency declared. The City Council finds that the confusion has arisen regarding eligibility for retirement benefits for employees, which has resulted in delay in benefits being paid. Such confusion is detrimental to the efficient operation of the system and injurious to the public health and welfare. Therefore, an emergency is declared to exist, and this ordinance shall be in effect from and after the date of its passage.
Move we suspend the rules and place this ordinance on the second reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Excuse me. It's been moved and seconded that item number 7 be placed on the calendar for a second reading. Any discussion? No discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Councilmember Mays? Aye. Councilmember Holcomb?
Aye.
Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
Councilmember Lockett?
Aye.
Councilmember Frazier?
Aye.
Councilmember Brunson?
Aye.
Councilmember Denton?
Aye.
And Councilmember Fails.
Aye.
An ordinance amending Article 2 in Chapter 19 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, regarding the non-uniformed employees pension plan for related purposes and declaring an emergency.
Move we suspend the rules and place this ordinance on its third and final reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 7 be placed on the calendar for its third and final reading. Any discussion? With no discussion, Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Councilmember Mays?
Aye.
Councilmember Holcomb?
Aye.
Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
Councilmember Lockett?
Aye.
Councilmember Frazier?
Aye.
Councilmember Brunson?
Aye.
Councilmember Denton?
Aye.
And Councilmember Fails.
Aye.
An ordinance amending Article 2 in Chapter 19 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, regarding the non-uniformed employees pension plan for related purposes and declaring an emergency.
Move for adoption.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 7 be adopted. Any discussion? With no discussion, all of those who wish to vote for the adoption of item number 7 indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Move we accept the emergency clause.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept,
Yes, ma'am.
adopt, okay, it's okay, that we adopt the emergency clause. Any discussion?
Yes, I'm going to be a sponsor.
Councilmember Mays wishes to be added as a sponsor. Any further requests for co-sponsorship? With any further discussion? With no further discussion, all of those who wish to vote yes to adopt the emergency clause indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item number 8, an ordinance providing for the election of members of the City Council by ward and for related purposes and declaring emergency up for the first reading.
Whereas Act 283 of the 2025 Arkansas General Assembly requires that a city of the first class declare by ordinance its intent to conduct ward-based elections for members of its city council and file the ordinance with the county clerk before January 1, 2026. And whereas Pine Bluff is a city of the first class which has for several decades conducted ward-based elections for its city council members, and whereas the city has established 4 wards, each of as equal population as possible, with each ward electing 2 members of the city council, and whereas it is desired to continue with ward-based election of council members as currently established. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Section 1, as mandated by Act 283 of 2025 of the Arkansas General Assembly, the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas establishes and affirms that all members of its City Council shall be elected by ward. Section 2, there shall be 4 wards, each represented by 2 council members, drawn in compliance with governing state and federal law as of equal population as possible. Existing ward boundaries shall continue in effect. Section 3, that all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are repealed to the extent of the conflict. Section 4, the provisions of this ordinance shall be declared severable, and should any provision herein be deemed unlawful, the remaining provisions shall continue to be given full force and effect. Section 5, this ordinance being of a general and permanent nature, the clerk will cause it to be published in compliance with Arkansas law. Section 6, emergency clause, it being critical to the public peace, health, and welfare that the electoral framework for the election of the city council members be fixed in compliance with Arkansas law, and that this ordinance submitted to the county clerk of Jefferson County no later than December 31st, 2025. An emergency is declared to exist, and this ordinance shall take effect immediately upon its passage and approval.
Move we suspend the rules and place this ordinance on its second reading.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded that the item number 8 be placed on its second reading. Any discussion? With no discussion, Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Councilmember Mays.
Aye.
Councilmember Holcomb.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
Councilmember Lockett.
Aye.
Councilmember Frazier.
Aye.
Councilmember Brunton.
Aye.
Councilmember Denton.
Aye.
And Councilmember Fail.
Aye.
An ordinance providing for the election of members of the city council by ward for related purposes and declaring an emergency.
Move we suspend the rules and place this ordinance on its third and final reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 8 be placed on the agenda for its third and final reading by suspending the rules. Any discussion? With no discussion, Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Councilmember Mays.
Aye.
Councilmember Holcomb.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
Councilmember Lockett.
Aye.
Councilmember Frazier.
Aye.
Councilmember Brunton.
Aye.
Councilmember Denton.
Aye.
And Councilmember Fail.
Aye.
An ordinance providing for the election of members of the city council by ward for related purposes and declaring an emergency.
Move for adoption.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 8 be adopted. Any discussion? With no discussion, all of those who wish to vote for the adoption of item number 8 indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
I move we adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the emergency clause be adopted. Any discussion? With no discussion, all of those who wish to vote for the adoption of the emergency clause indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Roll call, Mayor, I'm sorry. For the emergency clause.
Yes, okay, for the emergency clause. Did we do that last time?
No.
Okay. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Mays.
Aye.
Councilmember Holcomb.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
Councilmember Lockett.
Aye.
Councilmember Frazier.
Aye.
Councilmember Brunton.
Aye.
Councilmember Denton.
Aye.
And Councilmember Fail.
Should we go ahead and call the roll for the last one?
Yes.
We didn't do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Just bring it back up and call it.
And it was unanimous, but we'll go ahead and ask Madam Clerk to also please call the roll for item number 7, emergency clause.
Councilmember Mays.
Aye.
Councilmember Holcomb.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
Councilmember Lockett.
Aye.
Councilmember Frazier.
Aye.
Councilmember Brunton.
Aye.
Councilmember Denton.
Aye.
And Councilmember Fail.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 8A, an ordinance amending section 2-57 of Division 2 in Chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, respecting conduct of speakers during public comments and for related purposes, up for the first reading.
Whereas it is within the discretion of the governing body of a municipality whether to permit or receive public comments, except in certain limited circumstances dictated by Arkansas law. And whereas the City Council desires and is eager to hear from the public on the matters pending on the Council's agenda, as well as other matters of public concern, and has provided a period to receive public comments both before and after each council meeting. And whereas the public comment is a privilege, not a right, and a speaker must abide by certain rules of decorum to exercise the privilege. And whereas it is and whereas too often of late, speakers have abused the privilege by engaging in loud, vociferous, disrespectful, contemptuous, disruptive, disorderly, and unnecessary behavior, raising alarm and legitimate safety concerns. And whereas the City Council desires to continue with public comments, but finds that the rules of decorum governing the conduct of speakers should be strengthened to better regulate the process and put a stop to misbehavior. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Section 1, that Section 2-52, subsection D of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas is amended to read as follows. D, decorum of speaker during public comments. No speaker during a public comment period shall, 1, use obscene, profane, threatening, disrespectful, defamatory, contemptuous words directed against other persons present at the meeting. 2, direct comments to the audience or respond to the audience comments or turn his or her back to the council to address the audience unless given permission by the mayor or the chair of the meeting. 3, make obscene gestures toward any person. 4, speak in an excessively loud voice or yell or scream. 5, toss or throw confetti, papers, or any object or thing. 6, threaten physical violence against any person. 7, encourage or cause the disruption of the meeting by provocative or tumultuous conduct. 8, utilize language intended to incite or provoke a violent or tumultuous response from any person present in the audience. 9, interrupt, argue with, or attempt to speak over the mayor or chair of the meeting. 10, refuse to terminate remarks when advised that the speaker's time has expired. 11, engage in any conduct which constitutes disorderly conduct as defined by ACA 5-71-207 or other provision of the Arkansas Criminal Code. A speaker who engages in one or more of these prohibited acts may be excluded from the meeting and prohibited re-entry, arrested or cited for any violation of the Arkansas Criminal Code, and barred from speaking during the next 4 subsequent council meetings, providing that nothing in paragraphs 1 through 11 shall be understood to prohibit remarks which are merely critical in nature and made in a reasonable voice volume. Section 2, that all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are repealed to the extent of the conflict. Section 3, that the sections, subsections, paragraphs, sentences, and words of this ordinance are declared to be severable. Should any be found to be unlawful by a court of law, the remainder shall continue to be in force. Section 4, this ordinance being of a general or permanent nature, the clerk will cause its publication as required by law. Section 5, this ordinance shall take effect on the 31st day after its passage and approval.
Place it on the calendar. Agenda item number 9, a resolution to create a communications manager position in the mayor's office and for related purposes.
Whereas there is a need to create a position of communications manager in the mayor's office to oversee all aspects of public relations, media management, digital communications, and citizen outreach to effectively promote the city's image. And whereas it is in the best interest of the City of Pine Bluff to create said position, now therefore be resolved by the City Council of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Section 1, that the position of Communications Manager is hereby created within the Mayor's office with duties and responsibilities as reflected in the attached position description. Section 2, the wages and benefits for the position of Communications Manager shall be reflected in the line item in the executive budget. The Mayor's office shall take into account said position when preparing its budget for 2026 and each year thereafter.
Move for adoption.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 9 be adopted. Any discussion?
I have one question, Mayor.
Sure.
Now, you stated in the administration committee meeting that this would be funded by the casino.
So there's additional revenue that was noted in the budget for an additional $1 million from casino revenue that has nothing to do with the hotel. This is largely based upon the additional revenue from the sports betting app. And so this is funding that is not just projected based upon someone's numbers, it is based upon the increase that we have seen over the time that that app has been in effect. So this position and others would easily be funded by that additional revenue. And I think that the important thing to remember about this, and let's say the procurement position that has already been approved, is these positions will, I think, in many ways pay for themselves because, I don't know if you all have seen it, there's been another, negative video that has been posted in an attempt to go viral against the city. And, inaccurate information, just not credible. But because we do not have a communications professional division that is dedicated to answer to these, to lead our social media effort, we have some contracts in place to try to start to stand up what would be the work of this position. But, our departments not having effective communications work and expertise really puts us at a loss, whether you're talking about our own image, but also how that impacts tourism, how that impacts people making decisions on whether to live here or close. And it certainly impacts on our ability to recruit business, retail, or industry. So I think that we kind of have to think more comprehensively and think long-term, but the money is there to support it. Thank you.
Okay. One more question, okay? So, and I've heard you state that we don't have the funds that in our budget.
So what I've said is that we have been, and I think many of you not knowing, because I didn't know until it became budget time and we were going over the budget with a fine-tooth comb and having conversations with the finance director. We have been operating in the black because we have had such heavy carryover, whether it was from federal funds lingering from the Biden administration or COVID money. And the thing that I have very specifically pointed out is that for many years we've hovered around 75 officers without successful recruitment to fill those positions. And so, at the end of at the end of every year, in particular at the end of 22 and 23 and 24, when setting the budgets for 23, 24, and 25, we have essentially had a deficit. But they didn't appear to be in a deficit, and we didn't operate in a deficit because we had high carryover. And we have to be mindful that the the Biden administration and COVID dollars are gone, and while we are seeing an increase in some revenue with the casino, and I've talked about this in the context of the needs for the city and the growth focus. So for all of the extra that people want to see, whether you're talking about filling all the potholes and certainly the high cost of paving our streets, $1 million doesn't pay for that. $1 million doesn't pay for upgrading our lighting. $1 million doesn't pay for the things that people have said they want to see when we engaged folks in the transition. And just what we know. We know the things that we've had to do in the way of equipment and some of the things that have been put on hold for years and for decades. So yes, in that regard, the budget is super tight. In that regard, if you boil it down to expenses and revenues, there's a deficit. And in that regard, as we have been successful at hiring more officers so that we actually are covering this city with protection and fulfilling the positions that have been budgeted, yes, we will see a much smaller carryover. But in terms of looking to see what the needs of the city are in order to be effective in running city government, the positions that we are talking about would be well covered by the additional dollars that will come in, and we will have plenty left over to address any emergencies or to provide for the carryover. It just won't be in the tens of millions as we have seen. And as we continue to lose population, and we have continued to lose population, if we don't do something to address that, if we don't do things to try to bring jobs, if we don't do things to address the continuing decline in our population, then what we will see in the future is no carryover. But fulfilling these positions put us in a position to do exactly that, to try to bring jobs, to try to attract tourists, and try to turn the tide in the long term with regard to stopping the bleeding with regard to the population loss.
Can I make a comment? Oh.
Councilmember Brunson?
Yes. Okay, so I'm all for growth and development, and I want to make sure that we don't get new positions and they're not sustainable, right? Because if we are tight and we are already needing funds and need to make sure that we are being accountable for the funds that we got, I just don't want to get 3 new positions and totaling, I mean, this is probably about $150,000 just for these 3, I'm thinking, not including benefits and all that. So I just want to know what the sustainability is for these positions and other positions, because I don't want down the road for us to approve these positions and then they're not sustainable.
No, I think that's a good point, and I tried to explain that just now in pointing to revenue increase in one area of the budget that will support these positions. But I think as we consider the possibility of any decreases in the future, I think we have to ask ourselves, what are we going to do about it? So it's not just enough to recognize that, in the coming years, if we don't do something, the lack of a carryover or limited carryover will overturn any increases that we see this year. And I think the point that I'm making is these are positions that would put us in a position to try to turn the tide. Now, we can sit on our hands and say, you know what, we can't afford to do anything or spend any more money on anything except emergencies. What I would say to that is, if we are not aggressive about turning that tide, what you can expect is, you know, what may take 2 or 3 years, the sustainability for the positions we have will go away. So, you know, I'm not suggesting that we hire these positions just for the sake of hiring them. I think we have to look and see, how does our government run? How successful have we been at, you know, engaging retail to come to the city, grow jobs? And we can talk all day long about our infrastructure and the fact that we have a railroad and a port and all of these things. But we've had those things, and we still have lost people, we've lost businesses, and we've lost revenue. So I'm just telling you that, you know, we have to get our house in order, and part of that is to make sure that we don't go another year without some expertise about how we engage in purchasing and what our procurement process is, inventorying property, so that we can limit, if not eradicate, the kind of theft and fraud that we saw, particularly in one of our departments, in Parks and Rec. And we caught it, we've turned the tide, but how do we make sure that we don't do that again and that we're more efficient? And so my answer to you is, again, I think that these positions will help the city by paying for themselves and promoting the growth so that we don't continue to decline. I think not doing this, it's not only a risk, it's probably certain that we will continue to decline, and the sustainability that you're concerned about, that we're all concerned about, will certainly affect the positions and the services that we have right now.
Madam Mayor.
Councilmember Fails.
I don't support the 2 positions that are coming up after this agenda item, but I'll reserve my comments for when those are under discussion. In terms of, but I've heard this mentioned about the deficit several times, and just for the constituents who are listening, in terms of, we keep saying carryover. Carryover each year is the amount of money that we have left over once we subtract all of our expenses from our revenue.
Right.
And in all the time that I've been with the city as an employee and as a city council member, I've never heard it described by our finance department that the city is operating under a deficit. And I believe that whenever we say that, I think that paints an inaccurate picture for our constituents. The city, we've had a healthy financial standing for the past few years. We have a good credit score. If we had a true deficit, then we would not have a carryover budget at all. So I do understand what you're saying about the budget being tight, but I do think we should be a little bit more cautious about the word deficit, because I don't think we've been in that type of situation.
Let me say this, and I hear you and to a large extent agree, but I also think that if we are not very clear about where we are, it will be easy for in 2 years to people say, well, wait a minute, what happened? And if we know that and one of the reasons that I've started sounding this alarm is because a great deal of our carryover in the past several years has come from either, you know, the federal dollars that we got from ARPA funds, or the federal dollars that we spent over a period of years from COVID. We know all of that is gone. So what's left that has kept our carryover to be strong? And carryover happens because you're, you know, while we might be conservative in our budgeting, we also make sure that we have enough and we're not caught doing a whole lot of budget amendments. So, and I know the average person doesn't understand all that, but the bottom line of it is our significant carryover has been, and at this point, would continue to be based upon the largest department that we have in the city. And what is that? That is the police department. For many years, many of those positions were not filled. We had a mandate to address the violent crime, to address the gun violence, and we've been successful. 11% decrease in crime. Thanks to this council and this administration, full support of GVI, full support of our police and fire departments for sure. But that means that with fire and police nearly fully staffing, what has amounted to a lion's share of the carryover will not be the same. We will have some, and we do see additional revenue in the casino revenue, but it won't be like it was. And I feel like I need to be not only transparent but clear in this with you, the council, who hold the purse strings and make decisions, to know where we are. And this isn't just, again, about funding a position to fund it. Everyone on here has heard people say, and you know, that when we don't tell our own story, we are not being efficient with regard to, or productive with regard to social media, with regard to highlighting the success of our departments, etc. Everything that a communications person does for a city. And for a city of our size, we're top 10. I'm certain, the only one that doesn't have a communications person for the city. So, you know, when we are trying to, on the one hand, attract business, attract industry, help existing industry get grants, you know, get foundation dollars, whatever the case may be, we cannot rely just on the Chamber and the Alliance.
Right. And I agree with what you're saying in terms of understanding the tight budget, but I'm just saying when we're communicating to our residents, a carryover, another word for a carryover is a surplus. So saying that we're going to have a reduced surplus in coming years is different than communicating to residents that we've been having the deficit. So that's what I'm just trying to say. We should be very clear about that.
I received that.
Yeah, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Any further discussion? Councilmember Mays.
And this communications manager position in the mayor's office, you know, what we don't need is a friend of a friend of a friend. Somebody has to get up and go to work for our people in the city. You know, you go in City Hall, I'm just saying, I ain't calling no names. A lot of them just sitting around twiddling their thumbs. And then you call them, then like the police department, you call them, they come in from out of town flying. Everybody, we got to get more in control of our dollars here in town. And I'm not biting my tongue either. I'm going to support this, but we got to make sure that they're working. Thank you.
Any further discussion?
Madam Mayor, I just got one request on this position here, is that my greatest concern is sustainability, but if we can, in ways and means or in some way, get the finance director to show me this sports betting money. That's what I really want to make sure that this money is there. I know you say that it's an increase based on the sports betting, but there's got to be some data that we can show where we have this money that would be able to support this.
We'd be happy to share that with you. And yes.
Okay.
I call for the vote, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 9 be adopted. All those who wish to vote for the adoption of item number 9 indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Motion passes.
Agenda number 10, a resolution to create a service liaison position in the mayor's office and for related purposes.
Whereas there is a need to create a position of community services liaison in the mayor's office to act as a bridge between local communities, the city council, and the mayor. And whereas the community services liaison will serve as a conduit to keep the residents informed about city initiatives and decisions and advocating for community needs. And whereas it is in the best interest of the city of Pine Bluff to create said position, now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Section 1, that the position of Community Services Liaison is hereby created within the Mayor's Office with duties and responsibilities as reflected in the attached position description. Section 2, the wages and benefits for the position of Community Services Liaison shall be reflected in the salary line item in the executive budget. The Mayor's Office will take into account said position when preparing its budget for the 2026 and each year thereafter.
Move for adoption.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 10 be adopted. Any discussion?
Mayor,
Councilmember Fails.
of course, we've also had candid discussions about this one as well. I am completely opposed to this one, and the reason for that is earlier this year, I did mention that we need to increase our demolition budget because we have $100,000 in that line item, and we all know the blight situation in this community. And I was requesting earlier this year that we increase that budget to $300,000. But when I got the proposed budget for next year, we're still operating under the same line item that we've had for the last several years. And then another reason why I'm a little frustrated by this one's inclusion tonight is because we also have a major illegal dumping and a litter problem in this community. And our code enforcement director has heard from an agency that is willing to pay the city to hire workers, meaning they'll hire the workers to go out and clean up our streets, ditches, whatever, as long as we provide funding for equipment and supplies. That was not included in this year's budget, the funding for the supplies and equipment. I believe that reducing our blight, like legal dumping, these burnt out structures is a greater priority, is a great priority for the city. And yet we have this position here that's basically whoever is hired to do these duties, they're basically going to be doing things that we as city council members should be doing, that the mayor should be doing, and that members of the mayor's staff should be doing. And I say that as someone who's worked both on the council and in the mayor's office. I believe that this is a duplication of services as well as the next position. And so I'm a little frustrated that we're investing money into positions to do things that people should already be doing when we're not putting money into our demolition budget and into expanding our cleanup operations in this community.
So if I could respond to that, and I won't belabor this because we spoke at length. Definitely blight is a huge priority for my administration, and I know for all of you. And when I discovered, after meeting with every department director and making some priority-based increases in the budget, in that process is when we discovered that the carryover would probably be much less than what it was. And while we are still addressing deferred maintenance right now, still, and we won't know what the carryover will be until well into January, if not early February. What I sought to do as we speak, tearing down blighted houses through a partnership between the fire department and code enforcement, thought it best to see what we had in carryover, because again, that is not, a $15,000, $20,000 expense. Moreover, we are in conversation about what we would do with proposed tax dollars, which would give us ample money to partner with and address this across the board and not do this over a period of years and piecemealing it, which is what we've been doing. I wanted to make that point. However, I do think as a matter of priority and the fact that you did make that known to me and We are still in the process of prioritizing and working through because of the challenges with the carryover. What I will do is pull this, but I want to say on the record, I'm going to pull it, having had conversations with every member prior to being sworn in and after, and with acknowledgement that it is a good idea to ensure that people's calls and complaints and needs for help don't fall through the cracks, that it is a good idea to make sure that there's someone during the day, in addition to my staff, because we do more than take complaints and serve as a liaison. The work is being done. People are still falling through the cracks. And what we also, all of us know, is many people never call their council members and never call the mayor's office because either they don't know how, there's an intimidation factor, there needs to be connection with people, and we need to do a better job of not only addressing these complaints and needs in a timely fashion, but to document them so that we know what the problems are across the city and within the wards. And that is the aim for this. But what I will do is pull it, and once we have a better idea, what I hope, because I was asked to bring this back, not because it was a bad idea, but to bring it back during the budget so as to not present this and make this change in the middle of a calendar year. I'm going to pull it so that we can see what happens with all of the budgeting and tax proposal issues that are on the table, see what we have, and we will prioritize accordingly. Okay.
Before you pull that, can I say something?
I've already pulled it.
Number 10,
Yeah, I've already pulled it.
can I say something about it?
But I've already pulled it.
I mean,
Councilmember Holcomb.
Agenda item number 11, a resolution creating a new position in the Economic and Community Development.
Earlier, we said we were pulling that too, because that has to do with the urban renewal, and we're going to address that on Monday.
Okay, so you put in 11 as well?
Yes.
Okay.
that's good. This is number 11.
All right. Agenda item number 12, a resolution adopting an artificial intelligence policy for the city of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, in compliance with Act 848 of 2925 and for other purposes.
Whereas Act 848 of 2025, enacted by the Arkansas General Assembly and codified at Arkansas annotated 251-28, requires all public entities, including municipalities, to adopt a policy concerning the authorized uses of artificial intelligence and automated decision tools. And whereas the Act defines AI as a machine-based system that can, based on a given set of human-defined objectives, make predictions, recommendations, or decisions influencing real or virtual environments, and it defines automated decision tool as a system or a service that uses AI and has been specifically developed and marketed or specifically modified to make or to be a controlling factor in making consequential decisions. And whereas the Act mandates that final decisions involving AI must be made by a human employee, and whereas Section D of Act 848 specifically prohibits the use of AI and automated decision tools by public employees, and whereas the Act further requires municipalities to provide employee training on the AI policy and to establish disciplinary procedures for violations of the policy, and whereas the Arkansas Municipal League has made training resources available to assist municipalities in complying with Act 848. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Section 1, the city hereby adopts the attached artificial intelligence policy, which defines the authorized use of AI and automated decision tools by city employees, which shall be incorporated into the city's employee handbook and enforced accordingly.
Move for adoption.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 12 be adopted. Any discussion?
Yeah, this, may I say that?
Councilmember Mays?
Yeah, this is a good resolution. I mean, these people can copy something and make it look real, and all the time it's fake. You know, that's smart. And this is a good resolution. I'm studying it more. Man, you can't tell the difference. I support it.
Any further discussion?
Vote for it.
No further discussion. All those who wish to vote for item number 12 indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item number 13, a resolution declaring certain houses, buildings, and/or structures a nuisance and ordering their abatement.
Whereas the City Council has determined that the structures.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 13 be adopted. Any discussion? With no discussion, all of those who wish to vote for item number 13 indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item number 14, a resolution providing for placement of costs of correcting certain nuisances on tax books as delinquent taxes and collected as such.
Whereas ACA 1454.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 14 be adopted. Any discussion?
Yes.
Councilmember Mays.
I had a guy in my ward ask me about this one. What page? Number 5. Number 6. Page 6. In that corner. The bottom corner. He's a senior citizen, and I called him about it when I saw his name on here. And, I know he has relatives out of town. Mr. Higgins, right here. I talked with Pastor Lockett. I don't know if he referred it to anybody. But he's a senior citizen, and he needs to be,
Was this for grass cutting or?
Yeah. A nuisance is on the tax books. Taxes on the tax books. So he's probably, he said he didn't see it. That's what he told me the other day when I called him, so.
14, we're on 14.
I think we gotta do a better job of reaching out to them, the citizens. And I'll follow up, do you see he take care of it? All right?
No further discussion? All of those who wish to vote for item number 14 indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item number 15, a resolution amending the 2025 municipal budget to transfer funds within the Parks and Recreation Department.
Whereas consistent with ordinance number 6849, an adjustment to the municipal budget must be made by ordinance or resolution depending upon the form of adoption. And whereas the 2025 municipal budget was adopted by resolution 4849, and whereas the amendment to the 2025 budget is needed to transfer funds within the Parks and Recreation Department for the purposes outlined in the attached budget adjustment request in the amount of $97,000. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Section 1, that the attached budget adjustment has been examined and is approved and incorporated herein as if set forth word for word and number for number. Section 2, the Finance Department will ensure that the budget is implemented as amended.
Move for adoption.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 15 be adopted. Any discussion? With no discussion, all those who wish to vote for the adoption of item number 15 indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item number 16, a resolution amending the 2025 municipal budget to transfer funds within the Cemetery Department.
Whereas consistent with ordinance number 6849, an adjustment to the municipal budget must be made by ordinance or resolution depending upon the form of adoption. And whereas the 2025 municipal budget was adopted by resolution number 4849, and whereas the amendment to the 2025 budget is needed to transfer funds within the Cemetery Department for the purposes outlined in the attached budget adjustment request in the amount of $14,500 for repairs and maintenance. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Section 1, that the attached budget adjustment has been examined and is approved and incorporated herein as if set forth word for word and number for number. Section 2, the Finance Department will ensure that the budget is implemented as amended.
Move for adoption.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 16 be adopted. Any discussion?
Yes.
Councilmember Mays.
Yes. Now look at number 15, and then go to 16. You got 15, got the same paperwork on it.
Oh, I think that was just a mistake.
That's a $15,000, $14,000 mistake.
No.
I mean,
I think that you made an extra copy and
Just an extra copy. It's not irrelevant to this.
you can't tell the people that got an extra copy with $14,000 on it, that department is gonna get that.
No, it's not.
it's the same, but it's the same sheet that's on the
Man,
back.
you dealing with politics.
No, it's the same, that's a copy of that sheet. It's the same sheet.
It's a copy, but it's dollars.
Can we move on, Mayor?
Yes, we can. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those who wish to vote for item number 16 indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Agenda item number 17, a resolution in support of reviving the state-run federal surplus property program administered by the state of Arkansas.
Whereas the Arkansas Federal Surplus Property Program has historically provided cities, towns, counties, state agencies, fire departments, and nonprofits across the state with access to high-quality government-grade equipment and supplies at a fraction of retail costs. And whereas the program enabled local governments to acquire essential items such as vehicles, tools, office furniture, emergency response gear, and generators at discounts of up to 90%, often paying only 5 to 10% of the original value. And whereas the program was recently shut down due to a reported $300,000 operating deficit, largely caused by changes in federal policy that shifted surplus property sales to online platforms, reducing the volume of high-value items available to the state. And whereas, despite this shortfall, local governments collectively paid approximately $900,000 for surplus items through the program, receiving goods worth many times that amount, demonstrating the program's high return on investment and value to Arkansas communities. And whereas the closure of the program disproportionately affects small and rural municipalities that rely on affordable access to durable equipment to maintain public safety, infrastructure, and essential services. And whereas the Arkansas Legislative Council's Joint Performance Review Committee has heard testimony from local officials and emergency responders urging a fiscal impact study and reconsideration of the program's closure. And whereas the City of Pine Bluff has directly benefited from this program in the past and recognizes its critical role in supporting local government operations. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Section 1, that we, the mayor and the members of the City Council, strongly support the revival or replacement of the Arkansas Federal Surplus Property Program. Section 2, that we urge the Governor, Arkansas General Assembly, and relevant state agencies to explore sustainable funding models or partnerships to restore this vital service. Section 3, that a copy of this resolution will be forwarded to the Arkansas Department of Public Safety, the Arkansas Legislative Council, and our local legislative delegation.
Move for adoption.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that item number 17 be adopted. Any discussion?
Mayor, I want to co-sponsor this with you.
Any other requests to co-sponsor?
Federal surplus.
Yeah, and Ms. Williams.
And, okay, so council members Denton, Frazier, Brown, and Holcomb wish to also co-sponsor. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those who wish to vote for resolution or item number 17 indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. And now we will move on to announcements. It will be announcements and then adjournment, and then we will hear from public comments from the non-agenda item. Okay. Item number 1, in response to the dangerously cold temperatures and with steadfast commitment to community health and safety, the City of Pine Bluff is announcing the opening of a warming center stationed at the Opportunity House, the old First Ward School, located at 1305 East 6th Avenue. Beginning Monday, December 15th, the center will operate from 6 to 8 p.m. until Wednesday morning, December 17th. To To strengthen this initiative, the City of Pine Bluff is seeking support from community organizations, faith-based groups, and volunteers. To make contributions, please contact Martavius Proctor at 870-209 or M. Proctor at cityofpinebluff-ar.gov. Join us for Christmas music, free popcorn, and drinks for kids, and the Pine Bluff Fire and Emergency Holiday Santa Run Truck. Free admission. Tuesday, December 16, 2025 at 5 p.m. at Taylor Field. Item number 3. The Jefferson County Young Professionals Network, JCPYN, hosted by the Pine Bluff Regional Chamber of Commerce, is a program designed for individuals ages 21 to 56 to connect, grow professionally, and engage with the community. Members meet every third Thursday at 12 p.m. with lunch provided. December 18, 2025 is the next meeting. The membership fee is $75 per year. Dr. Tish Bullard will serve as the 2025 president, leading efforts to foster networking and leadership development opportunities for young professionals in the area. 4. The City of Pine Bluff is joining Toys for Tots in a toy drive to benefit Pine Bluff scholars ages 8 to 12. Please bring your toys to City Hall on through December 23rd, 2025. Our goal is to collect and disperse 230 gifts for kids. Join us for our monthly Catfish Friday Blues and Soul Night. December 26, 2025 will feature Ty Nash, free live music. Catfish dinners available for purchase from food trucks. Doors open at 6 p.m. Live music begins at 7 p.m. Explore Pine Bluff, 615 South Main in Pine Bluff. Item 6, Pine Bluff Get Ready. The King is back, bringing 21 powerhouse teams from across the nation for one of the most electric holiday tournaments in America. This year, King Cotton will be held December 27th, 29th, and 30th at 1 Convention Center Drive, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, 71601. Learn archery techniques for target shooting and bow hunting. You will learn about all types of bows, arrows, and the latest archery equipment. Participants will have an opportunity for hands-on bow shooting at an archery range. This course will be held outdoors. Please dress appropriately and wear comfortable closed-toe shoes. Equipment is provided. Minimum age is 9 on Saturday, December 20th, 2025, hosted by Arkansas Game and Fish Committee. That's commission. Item number 8, are you feeling overwhelmed by the college process? Get a clear step-by-step map to guide your teen's education. From stress to scholarships, a guide for parents of sophomores and juniors on December 20th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Register on Eventbrite. Item number 9, make some holiday memories this year. Plan on a trip to experience our Christmas lights. It is always an awe-inspiring trip through Arkansas's largest drive-through holiday exhibition. Admission is free. Arkansas's largest drive-through holiday lights exhibition has over 240 displays, many of which are animated. Pine Bluff's regional park is transformed into 1.3 miles of winter wonderland now until December 31st, 2025. Admission is free. Community volunteers graciously accept donations at the end of the drive. And finally, item number 10, the City of Pine Bluff is asking all residents who still have waste management bins to contact the mayor's office. Please provide your address and contact information, and we will coordinate with waste management to have those bins collected. If you have questions regarding card services, such as your pickup day or general inquiries, please contact CARDS at 870-399-7463 or visit tinyurl.com/CARDS-PB. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn? Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. All those who wish to adjourn indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And on any opposed? We're adjourned. And now we will hear public comments for the non-agenda items. First on the list is Bernard Igwebu to speak about the tree ordinances.
All right. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Good evening.
My name is Bernard Igwebu. I'm a resident of Ward 4, but the property that I have is in Ward 2 as well. And I want to first start out by saying thank you to Councilman Fells, because you kind of touched on, what I wanted to go into with a little bit about today, which is the blight within the neighborhood. My area that I have, the area in question is on the corner of 12th and Palm Street. And just a short description, I'm a full-time sustainable urban farmer here within the city. I am originally from Dallas, Texas, so me moving down to Pine Bluff was something that kind of slowed me down a little bit, a slower pace of life. And I always said that, I feel as if the citizens here in Pine Bluff should respect the fact that this is a country city, it is a country town, and take full note of that and be fine with it. My area is a couple of streets over from Greenville Elementary School. My overall goal is to try to be able to get agriculturally based classes and opportunities for those young students within the Pine Bluff School District. The issues that I'm fighting every day is that I will have people come in and literally dump whole trailers worth of trash out onto the streets and the ditches. I've been out there and I've fought with street department to come out and pretty much help me get a lot of it taken care of. And the more that I develop my area into something that I'm, a little bit more proud of, the less that we're having the issues as far as dumping, because now they're saying that it's actually being utilized. The area in question has had over 100 parcels that are allotted for homes within it, but over the past 30 years, there now only stands about maybe 10 active homes with 6 to 7 families within that area. Like I said, my overall goal, and I'm not asking for, because I know the response is going to happen, I've been told that, this is everywhere, throughout the city, and I completely understand that. I'm not asking for, money to be allotted for the situation. What I'm asking for is a way, or if there is a way, to be able to close down the street between 11th and 12th Street, because Palm is a dead-end street, as well as 12th Street is a dead-end because it backs onto the railroad right there behind West 12th. It backs onto the railroad. I've been taking the past 3 years to try to purchase as many properties as I possibly could. The only issues that we're having now is that everybody's leaving. A lot of people have property here within the town that they don't really know anything about, or they don't know anything, I guess, as far as to maintain it or whatever. People are moving and just leaving it. My first question is about the ordinances that we have. The first ordinance we have is that it states that if grass is over 18 inches in the city, that you'll start to be fined or assessed a fine to your property until you get that matter corrected. But with me being a farmer, I know that it takes little to no time at all for a lot of the saplings within the city that are growing from just years of overgrowth for them to turn into trees. And we don't have the machinery here within the town to be able to combat a blight-filled area, pretty much an area that has full-out trees on it. I know that we don't have that, but like I said, my first question is, do you guys have any resources to be able to help me either get in contact with the property owner so that I can properly close the street down, or if you guys have any means to be able to close those 2 small streets down in order to protect my investments in the area? There are no other property owners or anybody that owns those parcels around me that are even trying to do anything. And for the past almost 3 years now, it's been placed on to me to clear it out. And honestly, I'm doing it. I don't need funding for it. I just need the rights to be able to protect my property by closing off those streets. I've spoken with the city attorney. I've spoken with zoning and inspection, and I've also spoken with code enforcement. And the contradiction in the ordinance stands that Pine Bluff is a tree-friendly city, meaning that citizens have the rights to be able to grow the trees. But after so long, when is it going to turn from you going the right to grow trees to it being a blight-filled area? Because, like I said, we only have maybe 10 houses out of 100 that are necessarily active houses, but we still have those lots in between that are filled with trees, briar, bushes, things like that or whatever, and it's still supposed to be a residential neighborhood. So from my questioning, I'm pretty much just trying to seek help and advice to see how can I get those streets closed off to better protect the investments that I've started in that area. I probably spent over $15,000 just trying to either clear the area, fence it in, provide fencing, security, everything that I possibly could or whatever. But if you guys have any ideas, or I'm open to whatever I possibly can so that I can get the assistance that I need. Because again, I'm not asking for money. I'm just asking for an opportunity to close these streets down so that we can stop some of the blight that we have in that area. There was a person that was killed in that area. It's constantly shut down. It's constantly riddled by, drug addicts or, people who are, not just in the best mindset or state of mind. And I want to feel comfortable within my area too. And I know if I'm the only person that's down there, I would like to at least be able to have the streets closed off so that I'm not looking over my shoulder at, the sun goes down at 5 o'clock. I'm not looking over my shoulder just trying to go out there and feed my animals or take care of the property that I have invested in. So with that being said, I really just need some assistance in Ward 2 trying to, I guess, better suit this. And also trying to connect it in to help the city get better.
When will you be at that area? Are you there every day?
I'm there every single day.
Okay. So I'd like to come and walk it with you.
Yes, sir.
And so...
Oh, and one last thing. Also, I know that it costs money to close the streets off and stuff like that or whatever. And I know that the city does have barriers that they could place in place to close streets off or whatever. I'm not looking for that because I know that costs the city funding to be able to do it, and it also costs them time to have to come out there and place the things out there. I've already purchased everything that I need. I have 18 to 20 foot gates that can go across the streets that can close them off. If they need, and I know that the ordinance says that anybody that has property over there needs to still have access to it. If I need to drop the keys off to somebody, I'm 100% fine with the city having keys to those street closures so that whoever owns that property or whoever owns the 2 parcels that I can't get in contact with, they can still have property. They can still get to their property. So I'm not trying to cost the city anything, but in order for me to be able to protect my investments in the best way that I possibly can, this is really the only way that I have is to close the streets off. So like I said, everybody within that neighborhood has been kind of assisting me, and it's been going in a good direction. I haven't really just had any negative kickback as well.
And let me say this too. I would like to join you when you do that, Councilmember Brown, and I think you have support to do whatever it is that we can do within the law or make changes where we need to assist you in protecting your property and protecting your family.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Like I said, the only thing that I really just needed is just those streets with, and I have everything, but if you guys need anything
I think
from
if we see it, we'll be able to work with code enforcement so we can figure out exactly how to do it.
The best game plan.
And stay in the parameters of the law.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Mayor.
Council member?
Now, usually when the city council closes streets, it's after you go through a process with the planning commission.
Correct. I've been there.
So they would have to do a public hearing and advertise to the local residents about the closure. And
right.
Then that would come to us.
The only issue that we're having is that a lot of those parcels that are over there are owned by people who no longer stays in town or who are elderly who don't have really access to be contacted like that. So I'm stuck with a parcel that might be a quarter of an acre that's cut off by the railroad tracks. That's the reason why I can't close the street off, because that person isn't able to be contacted. So like code enforcement doesn't have phone numbers to be able to just contact a person and say, hey, you have a parcel that is overgrown, or, and even if we do that, it's going to be a lien that's placed onto it that the city is going to have to foot the bill for until that person pays it off. So it's like, it's at a catch-22.
Well, I think that once we take a look at it, we can figure out how to best address it and overcome some of those issues that are presenting the challenge for you to get this done.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And I have your number here, but I want to make sure it's correct.
Yes, sir.
You mind if I say it out?
No problems at all.
All right. 926-6548.
It's 214. 214.
It's 214.
Yes, sir.
Glad I asked you that then.
And I'm available anytime. I own my own business, so whenever you guys are free, it's fine with me.
And I don't know if you know Kevin Harris from the Extension Office. He deals with trees and stuff, so he might be able to give you some direction in reference to the trees that you said that was on the property.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. And you have been so patient. Last but not least, Camara Seals. Come on down.
All right, I have a handout for effect, just a picture. May I approach the bench, Your Honor?
Don't start.
That's all I got to say, may I approach it? All right, I just want, if you take one and pass it down. Yeah, so everybody can. Thank you. All right, good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Camara Seals, and on the evening of Sunday, the 7th of December, I was traveling north on Old Main Road, Old Main. There at the corner of 34th Street. It was about 5:45. And I was, a car was coming, lights on bright. So, and I'm going about 35, so I wasn't speeding, but I was going enough that this happened, what I'm about to explain to you. And so a car was coming, lights on bright, and so I flicked my lights, hoping they would dim their lights, but they didn't. So they come over a little bit, and I moved over, you know, just not a lot. But what happened was very alarming. I hit this, what you're looking at, and my car shook so violently, it tore up 2 tires. And not just that, the next day after they, you know, pull everything apart to look at it, it messed up the wheels. And if y'all know anything, wheels are expensive. Now what this is a drop-off. It's from erosion of the road. It's what's the term? I can't think of the term, but it's erosion. So it's not a pothole. I know y'all been patching potholes, and we thank you for that. But this, and potholes are dangerous too. I'm not minimizing those. I hit a pothole about 3 years ago. The whole front end of my car, I had to get a realignment and other stuff they told me I needed, okay? So I understand. This is dangerous. And it's clear I'm not the first person. And if you look on that picture, how that literally just drops off, I hit that. And it's like I said, it's from water erosion. And it is dangerous. By the grace of God, I kept control of my car. But it shook, like I said, it shook so violently. And so, and like I said, I know the street department is out patching and doing. I understand it's expensive, but there are probably hundreds of us who have stories, who have these same stories. So I'm very concerned about this because I know how it traumatized me. It was dark. Understand, it was dark. It was raining, okay? And very, very lightly, but still, it was rain. And for me to hit this, and I didn't go off the road. I mean, if you look at that picture, either way you look at it, you can tell, probably imagine the damage that it can do. And so I went to 3 different places. My car, of course, had to be towed that night. They couldn't help me. Had to be towed the next day because this was on a Sunday. And so it's not a lot of those places open on Sunday. So, but that Monday, and when I told the 2 service people where this was, they just kind of did like this. Yep, we've told them, and I don't know who they told because I didn't go into all of that, but they were not surprised. They were not surprised. So not only did this traumatize me, it could have been worse. And then I had to spend hundreds of dollars out of my pocket to get this fixed. Not this fixed, but my car fixed. And even now, my car does not drive right. I've been in South Arkansas today, was in Little Rock Saturday, twice last week. Car didn't drive right. I have an appointment at the dealership for service on Wednesday because my car doesn't drive right. You know, and it's from this. So I'm just, like I said, I know there are hundreds of stories, and I don't know how many people come to the city council and actually share this, or share their story. But I'm asking you all to give some attention. Go look at it. And when you look at it, you walk over and look at it, because I went back the next morning and took the pictures and showed the pictures. And it's really that spot, and I was driving headed north. And so it's dangerous the way that drops off, and that is part of the street. You see what I'm saying? It's not leveled out. It's like part of the road is just gone and it drops off. So I just beg you all to please give attention to this particular spot.
You say 34th and Main?
34th and Main.
Can you show that picture again?
No.
He had it up on the screen.
Oh, okay.
I'll turn it off of yours. Huh? Yours.
You took it off.
You took it off me.
Show it on the video.
Put it back down the way you had it. Here, capture.
You zoomed in on my picture?
What else he looking at?
Kind of scary, isn't it? Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay, so you were showing.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you can see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You see that on the side right there? See how that drops off right there? That's part of the road. That's part of the road. It's dangerous. Y'all drive over. Just be careful. Don't go over too far. But it just drops off. So you all please, whatever you can do. Old Main.
We'll get the street department to go out and definitely get something to get that area kind of filled out in there.
Thank you.
Be fixed.
Back part? Oh, yeah.
Would you be open to answering some questions?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, Councilmember Mays?
Yeah, thank you. That drops off up front, right?
Right.
It just drops off. So the back of the road is pretty much about the same, isn't it?
Well, that spot, I took the picture that I presented, that's the part. And I think going this way, because like I said, not just my tires, not just the tires, the rims, or the wheels as they call them, was messed up. They were bent. A welder had to weld them back to where tires could fit on them, which saved me probably about $600, $700 that they were able to do
Street
that.
Department and Mr. Kent, wastewater, they're aware of this?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Any further questions or comments? Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Seal.
This is some of the same problem that we had, the pictures that I shared with you a couple months ago.
Yeah.
This is all over.
It is, and to your point, you know, we're done, but you, Councilmember Holcomb, just reminded me of a similar issue in another area and acknowledged that this is all over the city. And what I will leave you all with, the council knows this, is that the funds, equipment, capacity, I just met with the street department last week and was there talking to them for like 45 minutes to an hour. And, you know, they have 3 pieces of equipment that are down, and trying to hire a diesel mechanic is near impossible. Having to do third-party contracting, we're competing. I mean, it's, and I'm not trying to offer excuses. I guess I'm trying to offer context that, You know, we don't have a fully adequately staffed and adequately funded street department when you compare what we had for our streets and what we have now. It's about half the funding, half the staffing from what we had, 20 years ago, but we have the same streets. And with pothole issues, erosion issues, drainage issues, and the need for funding for overlay of not just your major streets, but neighborhood streets that are often very narrow. It will take a lot of money to get us where we need to be. And that's just having the money and then putting the people to work in our department and in third-party contracts to get it done. And that's what we need to get it done. So I want to thank you for coming and shedding light on what one accident from one issue can mean. The only way to address it is to address it, and the only way we can address it is with adequate funding. And right now we don't have it, and the only way we're going to get it is to increase our revenues. And the only way we're going to do that, to adequately address this, is to raise the revenue through a tax. That's the bottom line. And with that, I thank you all so much. Good night.